Hi guys, welcome to another cook along with Young Shrewsbury. I'm Adam Pinnell, youth worker, and today I'm going to show you how to make some sweet potato and chickpea fritters, which are a nice vegetarian dish, very quick and simple, very healthy, actually really tasty, and we're going to make also a coconut chutney to go with them. So it's sort of like an Indian inspired dish. Give it a try, it's real simple. First thing you need to do, which I've already done because I don't want you standing around watching me, is take your sweet potatoes and you need to peel them like that, chop them up into quarters and get them on the boil. So I've got mine on the boil already. They'll take about 10-15 minutes and you'll know when they're done when you stick a knife in them and they're like soft as butter, yeah? That's the first thing. So get your sweet potatoes on. If you're a bit behind, just pause the video and then you can catch up. If you've already watched it once and you know what you're doing, you've already boiled your potatoes, you can do the next bit, which is either 2 small onions or 1 big one. I've got 1 big one here. So I'm just going to use half of it for the first bit. Just going to slice the onion in half. I'm going to take the top off, leave the bottom on. Okay, and then we are just going to slice that into thin strips to start with. So straight across, I peeled it back, straight across the section here. Okay, into nice thin strips. Okay, get that done. As we always do, pretty much every week with onions, is we need to reduce these down. Okay, you're going to get nice, intense flavour from them once the water has been evaporated whilst frying them. So we take a frying pan onto a medium heat, well, medium to high heat. I'm just going to pop mine on, and there we go. That's on. All right, and then pop in some oil, a little bit of oil in the pan, and the onions can go in to fry. And as always, in order to make them reduce down a little bit quicker, I'm just going to give it a little pinch of salt as well. The pinch of salt on the onions, keep an eye on those. Okay, real easy. Okay, whilst we're waiting for the onions to fry, I'm going to go in for, you've got some ginger, okay? So about a thumb-sized piece of ginger, so that's bigger than my thumb, so snap it off, okay? Thumb-sized piece of ginger. So you can use the back of a teaspoon, just going to grab one, to peel this. It's actually good. I'm actually in the youth club today, and it's so much easier to come and talk to you close and show you what's going on. All right, so you can just use a teaspoon like this, just to skin. Oh, it's got in my eye. Oh, it's horrible. And it's squirted on the screen as well, I think. That's why the screen's got all funny. There we go. We're back in the room. Right, I'm going to come a bit further away. Just going to scrape that. It's going all over the floor, but never mind. Cleaners in a bit. Just going to peel that ginger with the spoon, get all the skin off, and then we're going to chop that up nice and fine. Okay, so it's a bit, sometimes you get the odd bit that's a bit rough, so just slice that off with the knife. I'm going to just chop these up into a nice fine, sort of, well, fine bits really. Or you could use some ginger paste if you've got that in your house, if you're watching. Makes life a little bit quicker. So I'm just going to chop these bits of ginger down. So you're going to use that seesaw method, chopping backwards and forwards. Get it nice and fine. You don't want to have big chunks of ginger in your patties. Right, so ginger on the knife is going into the frying pan with the onions. Okay, you can start to get some aromatics going. Okay, next thing we're going to do is some garlic. Just going to give those onions a stir. Check these sweet potatoes, they're not quite ready yet. That's alright because we've still got more to do. So we're going to take 2 cloves of garlic, like so. Whoop. Just bust open the ball. And we're just going to crush those with the side of the knife and chop them up as we do most weeks. Again, because garlic is a regular thing that we use. So onto the board, knife on top of the cloves, pop, okay? You can just peel the garlic, really easy. And 2, peeled, okay? Again, chop them nice and fine. Now I'm going to wait until the onions are almost done before I put that garlic in, because you put it in too soon, garlic burns quite quickly. And then when it burns, it goes bitter, and then it doesn't taste very nice, right? And it's going to be cooked twice because this is going into the patties. So we're literally going to throw that in at the last minute. So just keep frying up your onions. We're almost there. They're getting nice and brown now. Just keep working them. Right, so we've also got some pepper. So you got your pepper. You just want to put a few strips of pepper in there as well. Cut those nice and thin so that they are also the same thickness of the onion, really. And they can go into the pan too. Just going to add a bit of sweetness to this. It's already quite sweet because sweet potato, the clues in the name, is sweet. But this gives another sort of texture and a different flavour as well. The peppers can go down, chop them all the way across. Lovely. Right, so they're going to go into the frying pan. Brilliant. Right, once they've broken down a little bit, let's see how this. Check our sweet potato. It's still soft. So the potato needs to be really soft so you can mash it. Alright? So just keep cooking it. Take your time. And get these peppers softened. It's quite an easy, simple dish this. Whilst we're waiting actually, I'm going to show you how to get into your coconut, alright? So first things first, you need to get the water out of it. You'll hear that there's water inside that. I'm just going to grab a bowl. Okay, now you might need to get an adult to help you with this. Okay, be very careful, but if you put the coconut down on the board like that, take a sharp knife, you'll see there's 3 holes. Gently, use the tip of your knife and just twist it into the holes. And you'll see that one of them normally is very easy to bore a hole. Now I'm not pushing that really hard. I don't want anybody pushing because you're going to cut yourself, alright? So just twist the knife. It won't go. Just keep twisting it and it will slowly, but don't put any pressure on. Okay? Once you've got so much of a hole, you can get something else in there. We've got, just have a quick look what we've got here. Something long and thin like a skewer. Okay? So get in there and just open up the hole. Okay? And then you can get the water out. It does help. So I'm just going to, you see that's just dripping out now. So shake all the water out of your coconut. Like this. Keep stirring stuff as you go. Okay, so these onions are looking good now. Peppers are sweating down. That's cool. Almost there for those. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit on that. There you go. Just keep those ticking. Right, so the water's out. There might be a little bit left in there, but you don't want to go everywhere. Then take a tea towel and a rolling pin or a hammer or something similar. Okay. You're going to enjoy this bit, I reckon. If you've had a frustrating week, give it a whack, alright? So hold it like that. It's wrapped up so it doesn't go anywhere. Whack it. You hear that crack? That's crack. Now don't smash the smithereens because you need to work with fairly big chunks, but a few more taps and then let's investigate. Alright, so get inside. There we go. So split right in half. Just gently pull it apart. And we have a coconut open, alright? So now, we just need to gently tease off the shells, and they all smash differently. You might need to put it back in and smash it again, okay? You can use the knife to gently, again, don't pressure, just get the knife to just lever some of that coconut out. You need just a few, you probably only need half a coconut for this. So I'm just going to use the other half for something else another time. So see how that's really easily, I'm not digging away with my knife really hard, because that's how you get injured. Just gently tease it out, okay? So the coconut is out of the shell. Brilliant. Right, leave the coconut for a minute. So it's time for this garlic to go into these onions and peppers, along with a teaspoon of chili powder. Oops, broken that, yeah. Teaspoon, stuck in there. Teaspoon of chili powder. Come on, work with me, it's all stuck. There we go. Teaspoon of chili powder. You can either use cumin seeds or you can use cumin powder, about a teaspoon. Teaspoon of ground coriander. Like that. And a teaspoon of turmeric, which is yellow. That gives it kind of the yellow colour that you get in most curries. Okay? And then you're just going to work those spices into that oil for a second, not for long. I'm going to carry on cooking in the second round of this. Alright, so once the spices have worked through, you can come off the heat. So work those through, that'll do me. So I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Okay, right, I reckon, yeah, these sweet potatoes are done now. So I'm going to drain these off in the sieve. Okay, just in the sink here. So they're going to go back into the bowl, back into the pan. Okay, and then we're going to get our tin of chickpeas. Okay, strain the chickpeas off again through a sieve or a colander. Okay, and the chickpeas also go into the pan, followed by all the onions. Smells amazing. Right, you're going to mix all this in. Now, you should, at this point, put an egg in as well. I'd forgotten my egg, so I'm going to hope mine hold together. That's going to help bind it, alright? So you guys crack an egg in there too, mix it together, and then, with the potato masher, you're going to just mash everything together, okay? This is going to become, this is the worst masher in the world, because the handle doesn't have a grip, so it really hurts your hands to use it. Whoops. But basically, just mash that all together. Oh, there's one more thing as well, a bit of coriander, okay? So fresh coriander in there too. And you're going to keep mashing it up. I'm just going to chop this up quickly. Keep mashing it up until you should have some texture left in the chickpeas, okay? So some of them will be crushed, some of them will be whole, but really the actual sweet potato and the egg should be quite kind of mashed, really. Okay, so that's looking quite good. Keep mashing it, but you do want some texture to these guys. They're not supposed to be really smooth, so don't worry about mashing all those chickpeas up, just breaking them down a little bit, all right? Okay, looking good. Love it. All right, so you're looking for something like this. Now you need to wait for that to cool. Whilst that's cooling, not completely cool, but the cold chickpeas will help to bring the temperature down. You don't want to put your hands straight in there. However, have a little taste. That tastes really good, although it needs a tiny bit more salt. So that's a good thing to do at this stage. Test it, see what you think. Add that in. Cool. Right, so what we're going to do while we wait is we're going to make the coconut chutney. So, that's dead easy. You've got your coconut pieces here. Okay, and we're going to take the grater. Now don't worry about the brown bits on the outside because they kind of add texture. You're just going to grate that coconut into a bowl. Now this is a dish that I actually learned while I was travelling in India. And I went on a cooking course, and it's one of the things that's stayed with me. This is 10 years ago, and I still make it all the time. I love it. Grating coconut can be a bit tricky, so take your time. You can go for the finer grade if you want. I'm going for quite chunky. Okay, so keep chopping. Sorry, not quite chopping, grating even. Grating that, and keep going. Oh, I just realised that this is, I'm trying to let this cool down, and I've left it on the heat. That ain't no good. Turn it right down. Good. Okay, so that would actually cool down now. Nice one, Adam. See, we all make mistakes. I'm just grating that next bit of coconut. Keep working through it. It's a bit of a mess here, so I'm going to have to clean up once I've grated this. It will go everywhere. It's the joy of cooking though, right? Surely Mum's around to clean up. Sorry, Mum's just joking. You all clean up. Look after your mum, man. Friday nights, Saturday nights, whenever you do this, should be Mum's night off. So cook and clean. Wow her with your skills. All right, last bit of coconut now. Going to be chopped up, like so. Right, awesome. Okay, next thing, right, we're just going to clean the board. I've got my coconut in there. Board's a bit of a mess, So just going to bang that into the bin. And just wipe off the sides a little bit. I've sort of clean that when you lot have gone. Oops. Okay. Alright, board out of the way. Doing all this in real time means that you see the real mess, you know? No edits today, I haven't got time. Right, whoops. Don't throw your knives around either. Right, lime juice. Okay, whole lime juice going in there. 1, 2. I go for half a red chilli. Now you guys today who've had the delivery have got Scotch bonnet chilies, which are really, really hot because that's all we could get. So just use half, yeah? I'm only going to use half the normal chilli, but just be warned, those chilies are warm, yeah? So less is more, just a little bit, even a quarter if you don't like it very hot. All right, but what you want to do is get rid of the seeds because they're really hot, and then just slice that up like so, and across. Chop it nice and fine. Okay, that's going to go into the bowl like that. Then we're going to go in, where's the other half of that my onion? There it is. This is a big onion, so we're probably going to need a quarter of it. In fact, I'll chop the half. So, like you did before, top off. Okay, this time we're not cutting it into strips, we're going to cut it into fine little pieces to go into this chutney. So, peel the outside layer off. So we're going to go along the grain, like this, all the way down. Okay, and then across. And then by doing so, you get this nice, finely chopped onion. That will probably be enough for me. You don't want to put more onion in than anything else, so just use your judgment, okay? Just a little handful of onion is plenty. Okay, and then finally, some finely chopped coriander to finish. So nice and fine, take your time. Bang that into there. Okay, and then a pinch of salt. And we're just going to work all of that together with a spoon. And this is your coconut chutney, which you might think it sounds gross, but give it a try. That lime juice, the heat of the chili, it works really, really well. It's one of my favourites. Okay, so just mixing it all up. It should look something like this. Really, really easy. And super impressive. You never like make these usually, do you? Make this fresh coconut chutney, but it will be a banger with these fritters. Right, next up then, I'm going to make a little bit of a clean up very quickly before I move on, so you guys can see what's going on. All that over there, and this lot to the back, that'll do. Right, okay, so put the chutney to one side. I'm going to get a pan on with a good amount of oil because we're going to fry these. Okay, so you want to have like half a centimetre of oil in the pan and get it up to a decent heat. Okay, so I'm going to go, if this is a gas hob, sorry, not a gas hob, a induction hob, I'm going to go for number 7 out of 9, so it's fairly high. Okay, it's come on. Doesn't like to play ball with me. I don't get much luck with these things. Right, cool. So that's on high. Okay, but make sure you've got a spatula ready because these won't take very long. And plates to put them onto. And fritters. So I'm just going to get that sorted. Alright. In fact, let's have a white plate. I'm going to photograph later. It's going to look much nicer. Right. Okay. So wait till the oil's hot. Whilst you're doing that, you can go into your mix now. Hopefully it's cool enough to handle. Okay. And just going to make it into little patties like that. Okay. Really, really simple. So just lightly, push it together. Now yours with the egg might be a bit softer than mine, but it will end up coming out better than mine. Okay, so just get a few patties ready. You can probably do 3 or 4 at a time. Okay, try and keep them all the same size because they'll cook evenly that way. Right, so just going to get those patties even. As I say, make sure you let this cool before you handle it. So just test it before you throw it into your hands. Okay. I think this is oil starting to bounce, starting to dance. Bounce, you know what I'm talking about. It's Friday evening. It's been a long week. Now I'm starting to talk gibberish. Apologies. Right. Okay, so the oil's hot. Okay, so I'm just going to very gently drop these in. Okay, and the key is not to move them around too much. So once they're in, just leave them and let the oil do its thing in frying them, and it will create a crust. And once the crust is formed, that gives the patty some structure. Okay, not the patty, sorry, the fritter some structure. Okay, and once you've got structure, then you'll be able to get underneath it with the spatula and flip them over. Just going to bring you in a bit closer so you can see what's going down. So let's move in. The state-of-the-art cooking stuff. I'm going to flip that down. Right, so you can probably see a bit better now what's going on. I think. Oops. Hey, can't stop this thing spinning around. There we go, that'll do. Let me see what's going on. Yes. Right, that'll have to do. You can see I still haven't turned these. We're just going to make sure that they still move, they still hold together. Just going to give them a few minutes on each side. Okay. A little bit longer. I'm doing this in real time so that you can actually see how long you should be frying yours for. You can see that the oil is quite hot. Yeah, it's really pumping out. You don't want to only have it on a half heat really. This is actually on full heat. So now, being very careful because hot oil is really dangerous. Okay, get an adult to help you if you're struggling. But just slowly get underneath your spatula. Oops. Try and move that. Underneath there. Oops. Quite tricky, so do get some help. I can't even do it. There we go. Underneath, and then just going to flip it over. Okay? Nice and golden on the inside. Yours will hold together better than mine are because you'll have egg in yours, and I forgot my egg. Okay? Oops, these are falling apart a little bit because there's no egg in them. I will manage it, but there we go. Flip it over, and again, final one. Flip. You get that, see that crust on the top? That's what we're looking for. A few more minutes, and they're good to go, because everything's already cooked in there. You don't need to see this anymore. I'm going to pull you back out so I can talk to you in a minute. Because everything's already cooked, you've already cooked the sweet potato, the chickpeas are cooked in the pan already. So it's just a case of heating them through really and getting that crust. And like I say, the egg's going to really help you guys. I can't believe I forgot mine, but you know I forget something every week, right? And I'm working from the youth centre today, so it's just how it is. Right, and then once they are crispy on both sides, you can lift them up onto your plate. Look absolutely awesome. And I know they taste delicious too. There we go. Take the second one out. Oh, it's falling apart. I really needed that egg. It'll be tasty. And final one here. There we are. We'll turn that off. Okay. And then we're just going to add some coconut chutney. to the plate. And there we have it. Indian style sweet potato fritters with a coconut chutney. Give it a try, let me know what you think. We didn't have any requests last week, so I decided to make these. If you don't like this, tell me what you want to eat and we'll make it. Like, subscribe, tell your mates, and we'll see you soon. Big love.